All right, I'm just going to share a few things the Lord has spoken to me this week. A couple of them are just, I think, personal for me, but they could apply to others. So pray and ask the Lord, seek Him in all things. Um, but then the last one refers to a country. So, and then I'm going to share some scriptures that pertain to all of us and those that are faithful in following Him. So, my oldest son got married 3 days ago on Saturday, so that was a blessing. And like a couple days before that, um, I don't remember the dreams. I just remember what he spoke to me before I woke up on those mornings. So I think on the 23rd in the morning, before I woke, the Lord told me that He's going to protect me. And that meant from any harm, like physical illness, spiritually. Um, and again, pray about it because and seek Him in all things because um, I'm sure I'm not the only one He's going to be protecting in the days ahead. But He was just speaking to me in general, maybe in regards to attending the wedding, and everything that's going on with illnesses. Can't say a lot, but anyway, I did have uh, I did have a friend that couldn't come with her husband because they're currently ill. Um, but anyways, I just trust that the Lord is going to protect me, and He confirmed that to me that morning. So I'll read some verses about that. In Psalm 121, 7 to 8, the Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. I just typed in, the Lord watching over us. Second Thessalonians 3, 3 to 5. But the Lord is faithful, and He will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one. We have confidence in the Lord that you are doing and will continue to do the things we command. May the Lord direct your hearts in God's love and Christ's perseverance. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from me, declares the Lord. Psalm 17:8 to 10. Keep me as the apple of your eye, hide me in the shadow of your wings, from the wicked who are out to destroy me, from my mortal enemies who surround me. They close up their callous hearts, and their mouths speak with arrogance. Isaiah 41:10 to 12. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you out. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. All who rage against you will surely be ashamed and disgraced. Those who oppose you will be as nothing and perish. Though you search for your enemies, you will not find them. Those who wage war against you will be as nothing at all. Of course, Psalm 23. And finally, and He's spoken parts of this scripture to me before in a word, and I've shared it here on YouTube. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything to stand, stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. And what occurred to me as I just read that, it says our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but we always think that it's just the spiritual things that we're fighting against. But look at this verse 12, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. So think about that. Think about what's going on, okay? And the divisiveness that it's causing and the force they're trying to um, hold us to. All right. And then he told me, like, um, the next morning, so I believe Friday morning on the 24th, um, so the day before he had told me that he was going to protect me. And then the next morning, he told me before I had woken up, he was going to protect me because, um, not because I'm good, only he is good, amen. And not because I'm made righteous by what he's done for me, not just because I'm his child, and that I follow him, but because I choose to help others, and he knows that. Um, you know, I've shared in other videos, just to make it really short, he's protected me many times from perishing physically, and a few times it's been miraculous, okay? And so I've always said, my husband and I, we always tell people we're here until God's done with us. And it's true. Nothing can take us from this world. He gave us life and he's the one that takes it. He determines when it's our time to leave. And so I'm only here to serve him and to be used by him. It's not for myself. And when I was really ill back in '07, um, you know, it was just exhausting. And I'm sure some of you can relate. And when I couldn't take it anymore, that's when I pray, that's when I finally just reached out to him. I had been praying all along, but I was at my turning point, and I just cried out to him and said, you said you wouldn't give us more than we can handle, and I just can't handle it anymore. And I just need you to heal me, Lord. Not because I want to be healthy and feel well, which is a benefit, but I just couldn't. It was exhausting. And I just couldn't take care of my family. I was homeschooling, working, taking care of the house, cooking, cleaning, and I just couldn't do it. I had no strength. And, um, you know, I remember standing at the kitchen sink trying to do the dishes, and I felt woozy, and my heart was racing, and I don't even know what was wrong with me besides my thyroid being wacky, but I couldn't even do the dishes. I wanted to do the dishes not because I just wanted to get them done. I wanted to do the dishes because I wanted to take care of my family, and I just didn't have the strength. And so I reached out and prayed, and he knows my heart is not for selfish reasons that I want to be here just because I'm afraid of dying. He knows I'm here because I truly have a heart and desire to serve my family and others, that especially of the household of faith. And so what he told me Friday morning was basically he's going to protect me I because I want to help others. And so he's going to bless me with that ability. And so right here, John 15:16, you did not choose me, Jesus says, but I chose you and appointed you that you would go and bear fruit, and that your fruit would remain, so that whatever you ask of the Father in my name, he may give you. And so I'm not a name it and claim it person, but I've used this verse before to plead with the Lord for healing and for him to do a work in my life or my family's life, and he's honored that because what he's told us in his word is true. And if we just believe it, you know, It's, remember when the person asked for healing for their family member, and he's or for healing for themselves. I forget what scripture it is, but he said, "Go, your faith has made you well." So when we believe that he has the ability to do it, and we believe that he wants to bless us and do it, and we believe that he can do it, and we ask in his name, he's not a mean or unforgiving father that's going to say, no, forget it, you know? And if he doesn't choose to heal us at that moment, um, there's a reason. And we don't always see what it is. Sometimes we see it hindsight. We look back and we see why he allowed things in our lives. And but it's always to give him glory. Amen. So I typed in being chosen by God. So there's a bunch of scriptures here, but just as Ephesians 1:4-5, just as he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we would be holy and blameless before him. In love, he predestined us to adoption as sons through Jesus Christ himself, according to the kind intention of his will. Okay. And we know that we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. But yeah, John 15:16. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you would go and bear fruit, and that your fruit would remain, so that whatever you ask of the Father in my name, he may give you. Not saying that if we pray and ask for something selfishly, please give me $1 million, Lord, so that I can buy everything I need. I don't believe he's going to honor that. Okay? Or to win the lottery or whatever. But if we pray, especially if we're praying for others and asking for healing or, for provision for something that they need, God is kind and loving, and I believe he hears that. And he gave me this to share before, Deuteronomy 31:8. I've shared this in a recent video. So it shall be, when all these things have come upon you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, and you call them to mind in all the nations where the Lord your God has banished you, and you return to the Lord your God and obey him with all your heart and soul, according to all that I command you today, you and your sons, then the Lord your God will restore you from captivity and have compassion on you, and will gather you again from all the peoples where the Lord your God has scattered you. If your outcasts are at the ends of the earth, from there the Lord your God will gather you, and from there he will bring you back. The Lord your God will bring you into the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it, and he will prosper you and multiply you more than your fathers. Moreover, the Lord your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your descendants, to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, so that you may live. The Lord your God will inflict all these curses on your enemies and on those who hate you, who persecuted you, and you shall again obey the Lord and observe all his commandments, which I command you today. For many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 22:14. So if he's chosen you for a purpose, he's going to give you the strength and the perseverance to see it through. And so right here I have John 15:18-25. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. Yet because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will keep yours also. But all these things they will do to you for my name's sake, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would have no sin. but now they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which no one else did, they would have no sin. But now they have seen and have also hated both me and my Father. But this happened that the word might be fulfilled which is written in their laws. They hated me without a cause. And then the last thing that he's shown me this week is this morning, 9:28:21, before I had awoken. Um, I had a vision and I can't remember what it was, but I just remember he said it was a warning about something happening to Guatemala. So I guess it's right here, right below Mexico, between Mexico and Honduras and El Salvador. So it's a heads up. Pray for Guatemala. God bless.